This is Chris McDaniels. Like, subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube. Subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris McDaniels, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. I'll be down there in the description box. And I'm here to do my WWE Monday Night Raw, March 25th, 2024 reviews. So here we go, discussing about tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. Now, they are live in Chicago tonight, and yeah, we see CM Punk arriving to the arena because he'll be returning tonight. We'll see what he has to say later on tonight. But the first thing we get to is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. He comes out there, and Cody Rhodes was talking about a lot of things. He was talking about, like, how they're 2 weeks away from WrestleMania, and, like, you know, he's got a lot of what he has to say. But then he asked everybody what they want to talk about, obviously. So, yeah, Cody Rhodes was talking about a few things, and he was talking about Pat McAfee, about Roman Reigns being on the Pat McAfee show and what happened this past Friday night on SmackDown, where Roman Reigns called him a politician and all that. And, you know, then he brings up Michael Cole and stuff, saying, yeah, Michael Cole, everybody, and all that. So, yeah, that's what Cody Rhodes is doing. But, yeah, he brings up about the fact of what happened on Friday Night SmackDown with Roman Reigns calling him a politician and all that. He says that, you know, he got to act like a champion and stuff because the champion don't even want to be there. So, yeah, that's what he was talking about. But he says that they are a few weeks away from WrestleMania. He says that at first he thought he could never trust nobody to go into WrestleMania, but he says he found somebody to trust, and that is the World Heavyweight Champion, Seth Rollins. And he says that him and Seth Rollins will be taking on Rock and Roman at night one of WrestleMania. And then he says that he's going to go on and he's going to finish his story and become the new undisputed WWE Universal Champion and beat Roman Reigns. So yeah, that's what Cody Rhodes is talking about. And you know, he was just talking about a few things right there. But then all of a sudden, he gets interrupted by The Rock. Yeah, The Rock actually shows up. He was not advertised for the show. He's actually advertised for next week's Raw. But he was not even advertised for tonight's show. So yeah, he just made a special appearance. He comes out there. He gets into the ring. Fans are chanting Rocky and all that. Fans are chanting Cody. Like, want to have something go down, you know, and Rock throws his hands up like, hey, I ain't going to get you, nothing like that, and he puts his hands behind his back. And then he walks up to Cody, and he starts talking to Cody, but we don't know what he said at all. He just talked to him, but not on the mic or anything, and then Rock looks at him, and then he steps out the ring and walks away, and Cody Rhodes, you know, was, I want to say, stunned about it, or whatever he said. So, yeah, we don't know what The Rock said to Cody right there, but pretty cool moment, you know? But, yeah, that's all that happened right there. Pretty good stuff, though. So, yeah, maybe later on tonight or next week on Raw or whatever, or after Mania, we'll see what Rock said to Cody. So, yeah, that'll be happening there. But we see Ricochet getting ready for his match because up next he'll be taking on JD McDonough one-on-one on Raw. Up next, that'll be the first match of the night. And later on tonight, we'll see CM Punk. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Till then. So the next thing to happen on Monday Night Raw, we get to the first match of the night. But before we talk about that first match of the night, we gotta talk about a few things that happen backstage. So yeah, we see Jackie Redmond, and she's backstage. Rock comes by, and she starts interviewing him. Talking about, like, hey, what did you say to Cody Rhodes out there? And Rock looks at her and he says, go ask Cody. So yeah, that's what he said. He walks away. But then after that, we see all members of the Judgment Day backstage talking, playing darts and all that stuff. And, you know, JD McDonough gets a match against Ricochet up next. And Rhea Ripley looks at him and she says, like, just go win. Like, we're getting tired of you losing. Go win. And JD was like, all right, fine. And then he walks away, and she tells Dominic to be there because he needs to go win. So, yeah, that's what Rhea says to JD. So, yeah, then we get to the match. Ricochet versus JD McDonough with Dominic Mysterio at ringside. So, yeah, we get to this match, and this match, it was a really damn good one. It was a banger. Like, these two guys beating the hell out of each other, actually going back and forth in this match. There was a bunch of cool spots in this match. Like, at one point, we actually see JD and Ricochet up there on the top turnbuckle. JD hits, Ricochet hits a Poison Rana onto JD off the top turnbuckle back onto the mat. And then after that, he waited for JD to get back up, and then he hits the recoil onto him. He pins him. 1, 2. Dominic puts JD's foot on the bottom rope, which caused rope break. He called for the referee. And yeah, Ricochet had break of the pin, you know. So yeah, then it starts going back and forth again. JD's beating him down. He has a set out powerbomb onto him, but he only got 2 count out of it. And then he was trying to hit his finisher move, the devil on the side. But Ricochet reverses that move into a Canadian Destroyer onto JD. And then Ricochet climbs up the top turnbuckle about to hit that shooting star press onto him. But then Dominic gets on the ring apron. And, you know, Ricochet's like, hey, ref, get him. And, you know, the referee's dealing with Dominic. Dominic gets pissed off, and he jumps off the ring apron back down to the floor, but pulls the top rope with him. And then Ricochet pretty much lost his balance and drops it, pretty much hits his nuts on the top turnbuckle, you know. Dominic got kicked out from ringside. JD was upset about that. And then JD finally got back up, and then he jumps up there on the top turnbuckle, try to get Ricochet, but Ricochet pushes him back off the top turnbuckle, and then JD standing, and then Ricochet hits a shooting star press onto JD while he's standing, and then he pins him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Ricochet defeated JD McDonough tonight in a one-on-one match. That's what happened. Great match between those two guys. I'll give that match 3.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was a banger. Good opener right there. But yeah, that's what happened there. But up next, we're going to be seeing CM Punk make his return on Monday Night Raw tonight in Chicago. That will be up next. We'll see what you guys have to say. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Till then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, we go to the next segment of the night where we see CM Punk. He makes his return back tonight on Raw in Chicago. He comes out to the ring and, you know, he got a few things to talk about. And he says, you know, that he gets to talk about a lot of stuff. And he was talking about how it was great to be in Chicago tonight, how it was great to be back, and all that stuff. And then he actually mentions that everybody can keep his name out their mouths, like Seth Rollins can't keep his name out of his mouth and all that stuff. And he says that Drew McIntyre definitely can't keep his name out of his mouth. And even Roman Reigns, when he was on Pat McAfee's podcast and all that stuff, even Roman can't keep his name out of his mouth. And he says that he'll see Roman down the road eventually. So yeah, that's what he was saying. But then he says that, surprisingly, he didn't hear nothing from Rock because you know, Rock understood what he said 10 years ago, and he says that, you know, Rock's arms is too short to box with God. So yeah, that's what CM Punk says right there again. Just good stuff right there. But then all of a sudden, CM Punk gets interrupted by Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre comes out there, and then CM Punk tells him to turn off that stupid music. And yeah, that's what he was talking about. And then Drew McIntyre walks over to the announce table, clears off the announce table, sits down, crisscross applesauce, just like CM Punk. And, you know, he tells the cameraman not to look up his kilt because he's a perv and all that stuff. And CM Punk was like, "What, are you wearing a kilt because you're a Scottish psychopath? Or are you wearing a skirt and, you know, just wouldn't be a troll?" And McIntyre tells him, "Hey, it's 2024, you better be quiet before you get canceled." So yeah, that's what he tells Punk right there. And, you know, Drew McIntyre was talking about how, you know, that he's the one that took out CM Punk and all that stuff, and he gets that name on the checklist on the back of his shirt. And CM Punk was like, "Yeah, you gotta throw somebody else's name on the shirt to make it sell out, huh?" So yeah, that's what Punk says. And Punk kept on trying to tell McIntyre to get in the ring because he wants to fight McIntyre really bad for what McIntyre did to him a few months ago. And McIntyre just would not get in the ring. And he says something about, it's kind of funny that you're going to rehab even though you don't even do drugs and alcohol, huh? And you spend more time in rehab and all that stuff dealing with injuries than you can in the wrestling ring. So yeah, that's what McIntyre was saying. And McIntyre was going on and on, talking about how he should be world champion by now and all that stuff. And, you know, that he's going to finally have his moment at WrestleMania. And he wants to thank his number one fan, CM Punk, for that. And he says that he's going to prove to everybody that he was the chosen one back in the day. And CM Punk was like, "Oh, who called you the chosen one again? What was that man's name again?" Talking about Vince right there. And, you know, McIntyre was talking about how his dream is going to come true at WrestleMania. He's going to become world champion because he prayed for it and all that. So yeah, that's what McIntyre was talking about. And CM Punk still calling him to get into the ring, but McIntyre just would not. But then all of a sudden, the World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins comes out there. Punk was not happy about that. Rollins gets in the ring and he gets face to face with CM Punk, and he starts talking to Punk, talking about that he's been hearing around everybody, and everybody wants CM Punk to do something at WrestleMania. And he says like, "Oh, do y'all want CM Punk to be on commentary right next to Michael Cole and Pat McAfee?" And the fans is like saying no and stuff, and then they started chanting referee. So yeah, they want CM Punk to be a special guest referee so bad. And Seth Rollins looks at everybody and he goes like, "Hey, look, like, how is he going to be a referee? He can't even count with his good arm." Punk gets down, he starts counting with his left arm instead. And he says, "Look, I can count perfectly fine." So yeah, that's what he says. But he says that thing is like he better not be referee because it's just going to be dealing with two guys that he just don't like, so he can't make a decision right. So yeah, that's what CM Punk was talking about there. And Seth Rollins was like, "You know what? I think you'd be doing great if you was on commentary, so you can just be talking about me, my finest hour, and all that, because that'll be the closest that you'll ever get to the World Heavyweight Championship while I'm champion." So yeah, that's what Rollins said there. And CM Punk was like, "You know what? It don't matter what I do at WrestleMania. Either if I'm on commentary and all that stuff," he says that he's going to still be around and all that, and that he just don't care who becomes world champion and all that. He's going to go after him eventually. So yeah, that's what Punk was saying there. And then Punk just decides to walk out the ring. Well, then Drew McIntyre was unhappy about that, and McIntyre was like, no, the match is about me and Seth Rollins, and Punk don't get the final word by anybody." So yeah, he gets mad, he gets into the ring, and McIntyre is going off while Punk is walking away and all that, because McIntyre was like, "You want to be relevant so damn bad, so that's why you can't keep mine or Rollins' name out your mouth," and all that stuff. So yeah, he was somehow Punk be dreaming about him and stuff. So yeah, that's what McIntyre was talking about. But while he was ranting, he gets hit with a super kick by Seth Rollins. McIntyre drops down to his knees, and then Rollins hits him with the curb stomp, laying out Drew McIntyre in the middle of the ring. Obviously, cameraman up his skirt, really. What a perv. But yeah, that's what happened there. Good stuff. And then Rollins pretty much walks out the ring, and he walks past CM Punk. So yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good stuff. But then after that, we see Shinsuke Nakamura talking backstage, because Nakamura was talking about how Jey Uso's dream is to go to WrestleMania to fight his brother and all that. But he says that tonight he's going to make sure that his dream becomes a nightmare, because what about Shinsuke's dream? So yeah, that's what Nakamura said. Later on, saying we'll see Jey Uso versus Shinsuke Nakamura one-on-one. But yeah, up next it'll be Ivy Nile versus Candice LeRae one-on-one up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. So the next thing that happens on Monday Night Raw. See you guys later. Till then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, we get to the next match of the night. It was Candice LeRae with Indy Hartwell at ringside versus Ivy Nile with Maxine Dupree at ringside. So yeah, we'll get to this match. In this match, it was going okay, going back and forth and everything. But then eventually we seen Candice LeRae throw Ivy Nile out of the ring and telling Indy to go ahead and attack her, but Indy won't do it and stuff. Well, then all of a sudden, while the referee is distracted by all that stuff with Indy Hartwell and Ivy Nile and stuff, trying to get Ivy back into the ring, we see Maxine Dupree go on the ring apron talking some crap to Candice LeRae. LeRae goes over there, punches her in the face, knocking her off the ring apron. But then Candice was acting like her knee was hurting, and then she sits down in a corner, talking about, ref, check me out. And then the ref goes over there checking on Candice LeRae. Well, then Ivy Nile comes up trying to get her and all that stuff, but the referee's pushing her back and all that, like, hey, no, she's injured. And then all of a sudden, that's when Candice LeRae takes advantage and trips up Ivy Nile, rolling her up for a pin, putting her feet onto the second rope, getting the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Candice LeRae defeated Ivy Nile tonight in a one-on-one match, and then after the match ended, she goes out there to try to celebrate with Indy Hartwell, and then she walks off celebrating. So yeah, that's what happened there for that match. I'll give it 1 star. That's why I'll give that one. But still good stuff to see about Candice LeRae's heel turn. So yeah, pretty good stuff. But then after that, we see the New Day arguing with DIY backstage, because it was like, what does DIY stand for? do it yourself or something? That's stupid. And then DIY was like, what does New Day mean? Because there ain't nothing new about y'all. And yeah, they was just going back and forth and everything, talking about their tag team match later on tonight. And then all of a sudden we see R-Truth and The Miz come up, Awesome Truth, and R-Truth was like, tonight is going to be one of the greatest nights. The New Day versus DX. So yeah, that's what somehow it was like, no, that's not what's going to happen. But, you know, that 12-man ladder match is going to be good. So yeah, that's what they was talking about, and then they walk away. But yeah, and Awesome Truth was saying that they're going to be on commentary for that one. And then behind them, we actually see, I think it was Paul Heyman and Drew McIntyre talking. Obviously, we don't hear nothing from them, but they are in the very background talking. So, interesting stuff. But up next, it'll be the New Day versus DIY in a tag team match up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Till then. So the next thing to happen on Monday Night Raw, we get to the next match of the night. It was Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, the New Day versus Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano DIY in a tag team match, and we see The Miz and R-Truth, Awesome Truth, on commentary for this match. This match, it was going pretty good. It was both teams beating the hell out of each other a lot of times in this match, but then we start getting towards the ending where we see DIY taking control of this, knocking the New Day out of the ring, and then Johnny Gargano hitting a suicide dive onto the New Day outside of the ring. Ciampa's out there as well with them, and then all of a sudden, they all four get attacked by the Judgment Day. So yeah, Damian Priest, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and JD McDonough, all four of them comes out there attacking the New Day and DIY, beating them all down and stuff. And, you know, they throw them into the ring, and they was trying to fight back DIY and all that was. But then we see Ciampa get thrown into the ring post, shoulder first, and then we see Dominic lay out Johnny Gargano with a frog splash off the top turnbuckle onto him, laying him out. And then The Miz was like, you know what, I got enough of this. And he gets into the ring, trying to go out there with the Judgment Day. But then he's getting beat down as well. And R-Truth is on commentary still. He goes like, no, I'm on commentary tonight. I'm not in the ring. And, you know, he's commentating the whole thing, which is funny. And then we see Damian Priest hit that choke slam onto Miz, laying him out. And R-Truth is still not even getting in there to help his own tag team partner out. But then Damian Priest looks over, he goes like, let's get him too. And then the Judgment Day gets out the ring, and then they walk up to R-Truth. The R-Truth was like, I'm on commentary, and y'all owe me money. And then he says, let's go on commercial break now. And all of a sudden, they just grab him and throw him into the ring. And then R-Truth was actually fighting back and everything, beating down Dominic, JD, and Finn Balor, taking them all out. But then Damian Priest comes in there, grabbing R-Truth, and then he hits the Razor's Edge onto Truth, laying him out. And then JD and Dominic is holding Truth down. And then that's when Finn Balor climbs at the top turnbuckle and jumps off with a coup de grace onto R-Truth, laying him out as well. So yeah, the Judgment Day standing tall over the New Day, DIY, and Awesome Truth. That's what happened there. Pretty good stuff. For the match, what happened after the match, I'll give it all 3 stars. That's what I'll give it. But yeah, that's what happened there. But then after all that, we see Jackie Redmond interviewing Cody Rhodes, and she asked Cody Rhodes, like, what did The Rock say to you earlier tonight? And The Rock Cody Rhodes says that he don't want to repeat it for what happened out there. And he says that Rock promised him something, and he says he highly doubts that he's going to get that promise. So yeah, that's what Cody said. So yeah, interesting to see. But yeah, up next it'll be Andrade versus Giovanni Vinci one-on-one up next on Raw. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Till then. So the next thing that we see on Monday Night Raw, we get to the next match of the night. But before we talk about that match, we got to talk about Kathy Kelly interviewing the Intercontinental Champion Gunther. And Kathy Kelly brings about what Gunther got to say about what Sami Zayn said last week on Raw. And Gunther says they was going to say something to Sami Zayn, but Sami Zayn acted like a little child and quickly walked off after he had to say what he got to say. So yeah, that's what Gunther says. But he says that, you know, that he got some match against Bronson Reed, and he knows that Bronson Reed will destroy Sami Zayn. So he don't even got to worry about Sami Zayn making it to WrestleMania, because Bronson Reed will pretty much make sure that Sami Zayn don't make it to Mania. So yeah, that's what Gunther said. But then we get to the next match of the night. It was Andrade versus Giovanni Vinci. Well, apparently it was supposed to be Andrade versus Ivar, but Ivar's not medically cleared, so he's injured. So we get to this match. And this match, it was a pretty good match. Giovanni Vinci tried to do everything that he could do to try to take down Andrade, but Andrade starts coming back, hitting a double knees to the face in the corner. He pins him, but he barely kicked out at 2. Vinci did. And then Vinci was coming back a lot of times in this match, but Andrade comes up with that faking out big boot into the back elbow onto Vinci, and then he picks him up, and instead of hitting the hammerlock DDT, he hits a new finisher move, which is Angelo Dawkins' move, pretty much. Where he grabs him by both arms, like a double hooked arm DDT version, and then he lifts him up into that spinning neck breaker onto him. It's called the Message from Andrade. He pins him for the 3 count. So yeah, Andrade defeated Giovanni Vinci tonight in a one-on-one match. That's what happened there. For that match, I'll give it 2.5 stars. That's why I'll give it, but it was still a good one. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until the next thing that happens on Monday Night Raw. See you guys later. Till then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, we get to the next segment of the night where we see the WWE Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio of the Judgment Day. They come out there. So yeah, Rhea Ripley gets a few things to say, and she was talking about how she feels like that she is not getting enough attention around here. And Dominic's like, oh, really? And then Rhea Ripley was like, yeah, I feel like that I'm not getting enough attention by Becky Lynch. So yeah, that's what she was talking about there. She says that Becky Lynch has been more focused on all these matches lately, these 20-minute matches against Nia Jax and Liv Morgan and all them. But she says that Becky Lynch has not been focusing on her, but she says that Becky Lynch needs to start focusing on her if she's going to try to win the Women's World Championship from her at WrestleMania. And she says that she could have done so many things like attack Becky Lynch from behind and all that, but she says that she has not done that at all because she knows if she does it, like, she would definitely get that attention, you know? So yeah, that's what she says. But then Becky Lynch comes out and she gets face-to-face with Rhea Ripley, and she was talking about about a lot of stuff that they'll be taking on each other at WrestleMania, all that stuff for the Women's World Championship. But she says that she is going to be the one walking out as Women's World Champion, and that, you know, Rhea Ripley thinks that she is the chosen one, but she is not, and there's going to always be somebody younger and better and all that stuff with more star power than her that will overcome her one day in the future. So yeah, that's what Becky Lynch was talking about there, talking about how Rhea Ripley will not always be on top. So yeah, that's what she was talking about. But then Rhea Ripley was talking about how Becky Lynch is just like a cockroach. Talking about how they are so stubborn to kill, but it could be done. So yeah, that's what she says. But she says that she's not going to take it that far with Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. She says that she's going to beat her at Mania, retain the title, and then she wants Becky to sit on her couch at her house, right next to her daughter, and watch her daughter call her mommy. So yeah, that's what Rhea Ripley says there. And then after that, Rhea Ripley looks at, Becky looks at Rhea Ripley and says, don't never mention my daughter ever again. That's going to be your one-time pass right there. And she says, and then she starts, you know, tearing up a little bit and all that, and she was talking about her dad and all that. She says that her dad has always been proud of her about what she does and accomplishes in the ring, and because her dad's dead and all that stuff. And she says that the one thing that her dad couldn't never see, but he knows that he will be proud of her, is becoming a great mom. So yeah, that's what Becky Lynch says. And then, you know, they got face-to-face and all that, and then Dominic is holding back Rhea Ripley, and Dominic, you know, gets face-to-face with Becky after what Becky says, talking about, oh, you going to get him to hold you back? And then Dominic gets face-to-face with Becky, and then Becky punches him in the face. And then Becky and Rhea starts going at it, back and forth, brawling and all that stuff. Bunch of referees try to hold him back, and Rhea Ripley tosses Becky Lynch shoulder first into the ring post, taking her out. Rhea gets out the ring, checking on Dominic, and then Becky comes up behind, attacking Rhea Ripley, and that's when a bunch of referees starts coming out there, holding them apart, and then they go back at it again, going at it, and then they get pulled apart and kept on going at it. So yeah, that's what happened there. Great stuff. And then Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch still standing tall, and Dominic laid out. So yeah, that's what happened there. Good stuff though. Really like that segment. But yeah, then after that we see Sami Zayn walking backstage. Chad Gable comes up and he wants to apologize to Sami Zayn after what happened last week and all that stuff. And you know, Sami Zayn was talking about like, Gunther says that I can't even beat Brawls Reed. And he says that he got some proven wrong. And, Chad Gable looks at Sami Zayn. He says, don't be focusing on Gunther tonight. Focus on Bronson Reed. So, yeah, that's what he tells him. And Sami Zayn was like, you know what? You're right. And I'm going to beat him tonight. So, yeah, up next it'll be Bronson Reed versus Sami Zayn one-on-one up next on Raw. So, yeah, that match is up next. And still to come later on tonight, we'll see Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jey Uso tonight in the main event. So, yeah, I'll see you guys later. Till then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, we get to the next match of the night. It was Sami Zayn versus Bronson Reed one-on-one. So yeah, we get to this match, and this match was a pretty good one. Bronson Reed was beating down Sami Zayn, but Sami Zayn starts coming back a little bit. He at one point tried to pick up Bronson Reed, but Bronson Reed, falls on him, so Sami Zayn did not have enough strength to pick him up and slam him all the way, but that's what happened there, and Bronson Reed got 2 count out of that. But then eventually, we did see the Intercontinental Champion Gunther come out, and he's standing up there on the top of the ramp, and kept on distracting Sami Zayn by seeing him multiple times. And then Sami Zayn starts coming back a little bit. He's beating down Bronson Reed. At one point, he had Reed in the corner, and he hits a tornado DDT off the second turnbuckle onto Bronson Reed. And then he was setting up for the Helluva Kick, but he kept on paying attention to Gunther. And then when he finally pays attention to Bronson Reed, I hit the Helluva Kick. Reed hits a big clothesline onto him, turning him inside out. And then that's when Bronson Reed hits that running senton onto him. And then he climbs up the top turnbuckle and jumps off with the tsunami onto Sami Zayn, pinning him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Bronson Reed defeated Sami Zayn tonight in a one-on-one match. That's what happened. Pretty good match for that match. I'll give it 3.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was a good match between Bronson Reed and Sami Zayn. But yeah, that's what happened there. And Bronson Reed was looking at Gunther and stuff, and Gunther was just laughing at Sami Zayn. So yeah, that's what happened there. But then after that, we see main event Jey Uso talking backstage, and he was talking about how Shinsuke Nakamura says that his WrestleMania dream will become a nightmare. And he says that, nope, what's going to happen is he's going to get this heat down. So yeah, that's what main event Jey Uso had to say there. But then all of a sudden, Solo Sikoa pops up, and Jey Uso staring at Solo, and then Jimmy Uso comes up, and then Jimmy Uso looks at Jey, and he says, no yeet, and starts laughing, and he walks away. So yeah, that's what happened there. Good stuff. But next it'll be the main event. It'll be main event Jey Uso versus Shinsuke Nakamura one-on-one up next in the main event. I think the match is up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Till then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw. Now before we talk about the main event and what happened after the main event and all that stuff, we gotta talk about what happened in the beginning. So yeah, we see Sami Zayn walking backstage all frustrated and all that stuff, and Chad Gable comes up to him, and Sami was talking about how he's so frustrated after Gunther actually getting inside his head and all that stuff, and he says that he couldn't help it and all that, and that Bronson Reed beat him, and he proved Gunther's point and all that stuff. And then Chad Gable was talking to him, talking about it's all mentally stuff, and that's what Gunther does. And he says, you know what, if you need it, I'll help you out. So yeah, that's what Chad Gable says to Sami Zayn. But then after that, we see Jey Uso backstage. He's getting ready for his match up next. And then the World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins comes up, and Rollins tells him, hey, I feel something's going to happen here tonight, so just know that me and Cody got your back. So yeah, that's what he tells Jey, and Jey was like, all right, thank you. So yeah, then we get to the match. Jey Uso versus Shinsuke Nakamura one-on-one, and this match was a pretty good one. It was going back and forth and everything. Both of them beating the hell out of each other and all that stuff, laying each other out. But then Jey Uso starts taking control of this match, and then we see Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa coming up from the crowd. They jump over the barricade, but then all of a sudden, Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes comes running down there making the save, and they're brawling with Jimmy and Solo, going at it and all that stuff. And then we see Cody going at it with Jimmy backstage and all that stuff. And then Solo got thrown into the ring post by Seth, and he got thrown over the barricade as well. But then Drew McIntyre comes up, attacking Seth from behind, throwing him into the ring post, and then hits a future shock DDT onto Seth Rollins at ringside on the floor, laying him out. And Jey Uso's distracted by that. Shinsuke comes up trying to beat down Jey Uso from behind, but Jey comes back, hitting a super kick onto him and hits the ropes, and comes back with a spear, pinning him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Jey Uso defeated Shinsuke Nakamura tonight in a one-on-one match. So yeah, it was a good match and all that stuff. But then after that happened, we see backstage Cody Rhodes going at it with Jimmy, and he throws Jimmy out of the arena pretty much through those doors. And then Solo comes up trying to attack Cody from behind, but Cody starts beating him down as well, laying him down on the floor and all that stuff, beating him down. But then Cody gets attacked from behind by The Rock. The Rock comes up, beating him behind, slamming his face against the table, hitting him with some trash cans and toolboxes and all that stuff. Carries him outside, beating the hell out of him. It's raining outside. You know, he ripped off some of Cody's clothes and just beating the hell out of him, talking a lot of crap to him, throwing him into Cody's bus and all that stuff, laying him out. And then at one point, Rock busted Cody Rhodes open, so yeah, Cody Rhodes is bleeding. And then Rock was talking about Mama Rhodes and all that. And he says he gets that promise that he's going to have some blood on that belt and all that stuff. And he pulls a weight belt and it says Mama Rhodes on it. And then he grabs Cody Rhodes, got some of his blood onto his hands, and starts wiping the blood onto the belt. So yeah, that's what he does there. And starts beating the hell out of Cody Rhodes, laying him out and all that stuff. He says he's going to give that gift to Mama Rhodes. So yeah, that's what happened there. The Rock laid out Cody Rhodes in the parking lot. So yeah, crazy stuff. I really liked it for the match and what happened for the match. I'll give it all 3.5 stars. That's why I'll give it the match. I'll give it 3.5 stars. What happened after the match was great shit. So yeah, great stuff. But yeah, that's what happened there. For match of the night, I gotta say it was probably that opener with JD McDonough and Ricochet. That was a match. That was a good one. So I would say that was match of the night. But yeah, the segments was really good tonight. I really liked the segments and what happened at the end of Raw was really great. I'll give tonight's episode, Monday Night Raw, 9.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was a good show. Definitely we needed that stuff at the ending. So yeah, good stuff right there. Really liked it. But yeah, that's been my Monday Night Raw reviews. Like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube. Subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris McDaniels. And follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. I'll be down there in the description box. And I'll see you guys later for tomorrow night's NXT reviews. See you guys later. Till then.